Darkcast Network. Welcome to the dark side of podcasting.
Gordo, we need quiet on the set, please. Quiet on set. All right. He's being quiet, so I'm going to go. Welcome to Castles and Cryptids, where the castles are haunted and the cryptids are cryptic as a fuckity-fuck. And I'm Alanna. Did you just get headbutted?
And I'm Kelsey. Almost. I dodged
we're off
it.
to a good start. Happy 420, except it's not anymore because we're recording this on 420. We let them peek behind the curtain.
Ooh. I forgot about that.
Don't forget about that. It's a fun day. It's part of the reason why I was like, we should hang out. Yes, and I may or may not. I've bought some more of those cannabis-infused drinks that are fun to try. Yeah.
Ooh,
they come in fun flavors
yes,
like
please.
Cream soda. Gordo.
Damn.
That was loud.
Okay, that was his collar, his little name tag thing that's metal. He
Fenrir
moved
does
and
that
it
where
hit the
he
desk.
Yeah, he shakes and he's so
he's
close
being
to
so
something that it
disruptive.
smack. And one time he did it so loud in the middle of the night and he was moving over to lay down by Pat's side of the bed that he basically did it like right in Pat's ear. It was like
Yeah.
And Pat was like woke up from it like dead sleep. It was oh shit.
Oh jeez. That's horrifying. You think somebody's broken into the house. Except in your house, Fenrir would alert you guys way sooner than that.
Right?
They wouldn't get to the porch.
He probably just had like a war flashback.
Fenrir
it's fine. But then sometimes when I'll take his collar off. I know I have a habit of doing it when I'm buzzed. I like to scratch his little neck, his ruff, his Yeah,
they love it.
I know, and when a kid don't have a collar on all
that's
the time, the poof is like so much greater. Like it's like a mane. Anyway, so like I'll take it off and then I'll be like, he's in stealth mode now. Because he's a lot quieter. Except for the clickety clacking across the floor.
It would be too much, honestly.
But we did start though.
Baby.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, hi.
It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, we have an exciting topic for you today. Is he just being so distracting? Because he is just like moving around every time I look up at the camera.
He really is. We can't edit any of this out because he's an amazing animal.
What a good sagoo. Oh my god.
Yeah. We could call this disruptive animals.
Didn't he do... Oh, now I'm not sure, but I thought he was doing something funny the last one I had to edit. Like, you know him. He's probably being
a I left in something last time. The episode that
funny.
Just came
I'll
out
only leave
yesterday.
It in if it's like, funny and not if I think it's kind of cute and not.
It was only like
sometimes it's just distracting.
I think this was only 10 seconds.
Right? You guys have no idea how many times we have to edit out. Like,
he's trying to
Gordo, get out of here! Like Gordo, you know.
Yeah. Right now he's nuzzling me.
Yeah. Just
hi, baby.
All outtakes is all just like you hear like thump thump rear as he gets booted from the tape.
Look at
anyway.
him. Look at him. Look how cute he's being. He's all upside down, baby. Yeah, hi.
All right, well, we're super professional. Cats and coughs. It's the real CNC behind Castles and Cryptids.
And sniffs.
Oh my lord. It's all good. Well, we hope you guys are having a good Friday or whatever time of day or week you're listening to this in.
Yeah.
Someone is like
whatever
somewhere being like, it's Monday morning. Like, shut up about it. You're like, damn it.
Ooh. Yeah. Garfield.
They do suck.
I hate Mondays.
Which is why we never record on
Yeah.
Mondays. I don't know. I think I would be. Yeah, I think I would be a bit.
Not unless we have to.
Yeah,
We've done it a
Yeah,
few
we probably
times.
have. But we're doing the ideal Saturday afternoon record, which is everyone's tip-top shape.
Yeah.
And Gordo is full of piss and vinegar. I heard a conspiracy theory that's kind of fun, and I kind of hope it's
Yeah.
true, and it's kind of not that serious, so I wanted to tell you about it. I even have it on a post-it note to remind myself.
Ooh.
I think I was listening
Yeah.
to Sinisterhood, whatchamacallit, ring light tripod thing set up. We'll have to record some video episodes, and maybe you guys will get what we're experiencing. It was. I was like, is that his paw? It was just like dun 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 coming into the frame. Oh my lord. Okay, Gordo, pay attention.
And there was fur all over
my
this desk
lord.
because he is flopping around.
Okay, Gordo, pay attention.
So gross. Buddy, can you... Yeah, listen up, student.
Okay, so it's about the movie Jack and Jill. The one with Adam Sandler, where he like plays himself and his twin sister. Yes.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
Okay.
Well, it's
I can't
not one of
remember
the
if
better
I've seen
ones,
that or
right?
not.
It's kind of one of his flops. So, oh my god.
No. Yeah.
So it
Bye,
starts
Gordo.
like Katie Holmes
go.
is like the love interest or whatever. And so I guess this internet theory has
Okay.
gotten around that because it was around the time before she divorced Tom Cruise, and Adam Sandler has like fuck off kind of money and always, you know, invites
Okay.
his like friends on movies and stuff to like give whoever he wants a job, that he had her on the movie so she could have somewhere to be to help, you know, get her divorce going and stuff so she could be ready to, because it was like really tough for her to get separated from him and like under the eye of him in Scientology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're crazy. It is supposed to be really, really hard to leave.
Right.
And I've heard stuff about them having dirt on you when you join.
Oh
That
yeah,
they'll
because I guess would
leak
she have had to
and all
join when
this
she
stuff.
married him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't really know. I haven't looked that much into Scientology because I feel like it would just make me really mad.
Like, kind of like some people talk about it on their Patreon because they're like, I'm a little bit more comfortable talking about it behind a paywall, which I totally get. And like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I have heard a lot that they definitely wanted him to be married. They were the ones that are like, oh, it looks so much better if you have a wife. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just like so involved in your life and stuff.
Shit.
But okay.
Yeah.
My door just blew all the way shut. Maybe it wasn't quite. Anyway, it was the wind. Okay. I peed myself. But anyway, so I hope that's true because I think that's kind of funny. And then they were like, like the theory people were pointing out that, you know, usually he works with other like comedic actresses, specifically like Jennifer Aniston, Drew Barrymore, like, you know what I mean? It's certain people over and over. And and that she didn't have much like to do with like lines in the movie. So she just had like a lot of downtime on the set. And they were like, plus I just like to think that, you know, that maybe his crappy movies are kind of like, maybe he was helping other people out that just needed a hand. Which is...
Yeah. Or they needed a bit of money and he's just like, yeah sure, we have this idea, let's just do it.
Big vacations and stuff too, not just puts them in his like all his big movies. So I could see it. Yeah.
That's cool. He seems pretty chill, like compared to a lot of the other celebrities. You see him a lot of the times like just wearing like t-shirt and normally shorts and like flip-flops.
Well, that exactly, because
he seems pretty
like
chill.
Pat is a fan, and that's why when I was telling him about this, he said, oh, there was a recent clip where Jen Aniston was giving him shit for coming to set looking like a slob or something, like just, you know, and she was dressed up more nice.
Probably.
Like, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, he seems like he's just never gonna get a big ego and be, oh, I'm a celebrity, I have money now, I'm gonna be an asshole. Like, he's just always gonna be who he is, which is kind of cool. You gotta admire it. But
Yeah.
conspiracy theory of the week.
Yeah, I like to
I
think
like
that
those type
too.
of things
That'd
better
be
than people
nice.
being like, conspiracy theory, is Kate Middleton dead because we haven't seen her in a while? And I'm like, can we not? Like, I know you guys think it's funny, but
Yeah.
I don't think that kind of stuff is very funny. But that's just my PSA.
No, that's happened a couple times. Like
Mhm.
Kate Middleton and then Chadwick Boseman, he had the same thing.
Speculating.
Everybody was on him, and then he
Yeah.
was like, didn't, yeah, because he was like losing weight, and didn't they comment? And so many people were commenting,
Yes.
like publicly and on Instagram. He had like turned off the comments or something on his Facebook, and then they're like, surprise, it's
Right. And just
fucking
because he
cancer.
didn't
Like,
want
you
to
guys suck.
publicly
How about you mind your own
maybe announce
business?
that, like, people thought they have the right to be like, oh, are you on
Yeah.
drugs and stuff like that. It's like, never. Why do you think you need to comment on someone else's appearance at all ever? Unless, yeah,
Right? Yeah. That must be so shitty to be like
right.
so much in the public eye that
No, and people
you
just
can't
are
really
like,
escape
oh,
that
fuck
kind
it.
of
Well,
stuff.
it's your fault. You're a celebrity, so you signed up for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are like
Just
that
say
about
whatever
the
I want
royals a
to.
lot, I find. And I'm like, okay, but you can't really help, like, who you're born to or who you fall in love with, who you're born to. That sounded weird. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we kind of alluded to what we're talking about today before I hijacked
Yeah,
that
before
too.
Gordo
He
vacated
was
the
really
room.
trying to knock me off my game, and it's like not hard to do. But
Yeah, that was excessive. He's normally not
must
quite that
be on
bad.
keyboard. Ah.
Yeah, right in front of me. He kept leaning his head on my chest, being like, hi. I'm like, you're on a desk and I'm sitting in a chair. You can't really lean back and cuddle me
Oh
right
Lord.
now.
Well, they're loyal. They're loving when they want to be. At the most inconvenient
When they
times.
want to be, exactly. When it's convenient for them. Yeah.
But yeah, it is that was a good like segue because we want to talk about amazing animals. I kind of was like really enjoyed doing the Lady Wonder, and I love hearing about stories about different animals
Yeah.
that have done different amazing things that you're like, oh hot damn, that pet's done more than I have, you know.
Right. This animal's accomplished more in
Literally.
my life than I ever
Literally
will.
though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so it's a little bit more. I guess that's the caveat. We'll say that it's not necessarily paranormal or anything today, but yeah.
No, not
I
really.
literally no.
But doesn't
That's so
always have
funny.
to be. It's kind of a other. Even our true crime ones
No,
aren't
and I'm
always
fine
super
with
true
that.
crimey.
Yeah, my one story I know I heard it covered on a podcast that always calls himself a horror podcast. So I'm like, well, you talk about other things too. Unapologetically. So we're just gonna stop being way too
Yeah.
polite and get into it. Because that's why I didn't even text Kelsey back after.
Yeah.
That was so funny. I was like, well, she's probably busy. I texted her, but that was an hour ago or so. But that's okay. She's probably just
And then 3.5 hours later, I check my phone and it finally sends me the notification that you messaged me 3.5 hours ago.
cat.
Excuse you.
Oh Lord.
Okay, just chill. Take it down from 100 to like negative 10.
25%.
Calm down.
Oh my.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, and then we were both too
guess.
polite to keep messaging because I was gonna message you at about the same time you apparently had messaged me, and my phone didn't send me the notification. I was like, she's probably busy, and then you thought the same thing, so
Literally,
we
like,
just
can't
didn't do
remember if she
anything.
said she had to work. I didn't think so, but I'll leave it. Yeah, and then I was like,
Yeah. And I'm going, oh, maybe she has lots of stuff to do,
what I was doing
it's the
is making my
weekend, she
notes
has the day
even
off.
longer. Hey, at first they were short,
Oh.
okay? I was like done, and then I was like, that's only 4 pages. That's like really short for me. She's like, uh-oh, no.
Oh. I don't know how long mine is. Mine's kind of like
Ooh.
listicle-y thing again. Or I guess not really listicle. A timeline kind of like thing. So it's probably appears longer
I
than
know.
it'll actually be.
Em and Christine were talking about how long their
Yeah.
notes are or whatever when Christine had like a long true crime case, and then Em was like, oh, if mine there's like over a page, it's too much. But that, and then there Christine was like, but in what font? And I think Em said like
What?
12 or something really small. And then they were like, but I zoom right in. And I was like, Jesus. Still.
No. I use
seems
size
normal.
13, and then mine's kind of broken up. Not bullet
Yeah.
points, it's a little like paragraphy, because if I type in bullet point, I would lose track of what I'm trying to
I'm
say.
usually
So I
quite
gotta
that
type
way.
in full
Yeah.
sentences, and
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to remember all the little details, but then sometimes the more you do the notes and stuff, then you're writing out the whole sentence, and then by the time you get to your notes, you're like, oh yeah, I remember this. And you're like, I know my notes good. No. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and looking up animals, I guess I
What
kind of
did you look
settled on
up? Did
mine
you
pretty
literally like
quickly,
type
but
amazing animals?
it's fun.
Googles?
I think I looked up like interesting
Okay.
animals throughout history, or ended up looking up a few different lists, like animals that were in like different
Yeah.
wars and
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. So yeah, this one kind of seemed fun. It's one of them I had definitely heard about before but
Oh,
didn't
okay,
know a
really?
whole lot about. And I think a lot of people will recognize the name, and probably
Oh,
know at
okay.
least a little
I'm
bit about it,
curious
but
if I will.
yeah,
Oh.
you will. I guarantee you will. It's the story of Koko the gorilla, the
Oh.
new sign language.
Sorry, are
Punch
you
the
okay?
desk. Yeah. Oh my god. It was on like, oh Jesus, the
Oh
edge, and it
God.
just like
It's like
scraped
when
my
you're like
knuckle.
pulling your blankets up or something
Ow.
and you like let go too fast and you like smack yourself and you're like, damn it. I almost punched myself in the face. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay,
Yeah.
it sounds a little familiar,
Um.
but like not really at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I remembered like certain things hearing about it,
Okay.
so yeah, there's a lot of actual controversy, I guess, surrounding this one about like how much Coco
Oh,
really
sure.
understood in like sign language, and I guess like the interpretation of the signs. And then obviously a lot of people have problems with animals like in captivity and that kind
Oh,
of stuff. So that's kind of another controversy that I guess went through most of
yeah.
Coco's life. Was like she was in captivity and going through all these kind of like
Oh, it
studies
might not
and
have been that fun
experiment
for
kind of
her,
stuff.
yeah.
So
But okay.
yeah. um so there's a couple different foundations involved throughout what happens. There's the Gorilla
Right.
Foundation, um and then there ends up being the Koko, like Koko, they call it Project Koko, but it's kind of like a separate foundation, I'd call it. A lot of the timeline information I got was actually off of the, I think it was the Gorilla Foundation or
Oh,
Project Coco's like website. They had a really nice timeline kind of going through her life, different
oh, cute. And now
momentous
she
things
shares
that
a
happened.
name with a Disney movie or whatever. Oh.
Yeah. It's spelled different.
Oh.
This is Koko,
Okay,
not
cool. Okay.
Coco. Yeah.
Koko with a K.
Yeah. The Gorilla Foundation was founded in 1976, and it was based on the result of a unique interspecies communication study with gorillas that had started in 1972 by the Gorilla Foundation's founder, Dr. Francine
Cute.
Penny Patterson. Dr. Patterson's like ends up working with Koko
Okay, I was
for
wondering if there was
basically
going to be
her
like
entire
a
life.
Jane Goodall of gorillas, like,
Yeah,
because she worked with
100%.
not wait mostly
Yeah.
some kind of monkeys. I can't remember now.
Yeah, she works with
So many. Oh, was she?
she was with gorillas too. Jane
Okay.
Goodall is
Okay.
mentioned in here. She
Chimps.
works
Okay,
mostly
yeah.
with
There's so
wild
many different
chimpanzees.
yeah, monkeys that I get them all mixed up.
Yeah. Right? I'm not fucking down with like all
No.
the different species of monkeys
All
and
of us have a
apes and
bachelor
great
of
apes and all
wait,
that
what
stuff.
does my mom have?
But
Biology. Whatever's the
something,
thing
I
that
don't
she
know.
could never use because there was never any damn jobs there anyway. Anyway.
So from their website, it said Project Koko has helped us learn a lot about gorillas, both
Oh.
emotionally and cognitively. We have also learned how gorillas and other great apes in Africa are
Aw.
becoming critically endangered. And yeah, as a result, over the years, which we'll get into, the foundation had shifted focus away from just pure research and instead trying to apply their research findings for the benefit of both
Okay,
captive
cool.
and free living gorillas. So they did, yeah, apply some of their research. It also said what was unique because they did teach multiple gorillas and even, I think, a chimpanzee at some point
Oh,
sign language.
cool.
It's happened multiple times. Um, they did say that with Koko, it went further than like merely signing or like in their interpretation, like mimicking what the
Okay.
handlers were doing.
That's pretty cool.
Uh, it said that she used unique combinations of signs to alter their meaning, which some have described as crude, sort of
Oh,
syntax free
okay. Me
sentences.
want book. No, I don't know.
And yeah, basically stuff like that. Or it'd be like,
Oh, that reminds me
me
when you were
book. And
talking
she'd
about the
repeat it.
dogs that are like,
Or she'd be like, you, me, book.
like food, love, hug, pet.
Yeah,
What is
food,
it?
food, food.
Love, pet me or something. Yeah.
Yeah, all the
So
buttons they
cute.
have lined up. Yeah. Um, yeah, it said she was able to describe her feelings and moods, and sometimes it
Oh,
seemed just wanted to talk. Said
she's
often
just
starting
lonely. She
conversations with her
bored.
keepers, and sometimes probably. Most impressively, it said that she taught sign
Oh.
language to other gorillas, including one that we'll get to named Michael. And it said that they exchanged unique signs, or Koko exchanged unique signs with him that she did not use with her handlers. So she would like talk
Oh.
differently to him than she would to her handlers. I didn't find a whole lot of other examples or stuff where they talk
Cool.
too much
It's like
about
having a
that
secret language with
in
like
the
your
sources I
sibling or
read. But
something.
yeah. Um, so getting into timeline 1971, Koko is
Ooh.
born on the 4th of July at
Happy
the San
birthday,
Francisco
America.
Zoo. Yeah. And she is named Hanabiko, meaning fireworks
Oh,
child in Japanese, and it was done from like a Name the Gorilla
neat.
contest that they
And
held,
they're like, we can't say that.
which
Shorten
I
it
thought
to
was pretty
Koko,
cute.
please.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. Basically. Next year, it said, I think that she
Mhm.
stayed with her mother for like about the first year, and that she was one of the or like the only gorilla born in captivity that was accepted by their mother or
Yeah,
something.
I know it's
So
rough when they have to like mate and stuff in
yeah.
captivity. They're not always into it. I mean, go figure. Like,
Yeah.
all these people are watching me.
Right? Yeah. 1972, Project Koko begins with Dr. Patterson, a PhD candidate from Stanford University, who begins working with Koko while she's at the zoo. This is initiating the first ever project into the study of the linguistic capabilities of gorillas. And it's kind of in like what they use at daycare, like with my niece. So they like when they're teaching like kids that can't talk like sign language or that kind of stuff, they're basically like, oh, they do a sign or like do a hand gesture and then we'll like give the kid something to drink and then do it again and give the something to drink and then do one for like food so that the kids know like this is what you do when you want something to eat, this is what you do when you want something to drink, and like this is what you do when you want to ask that you want more,
Oh
or
yeah,
that
I've
you're
seen little
done.
kids pick that stuff up pretty quick. The more.
Yeah. Yeah, my niece was able to do it at probably 8 or 9 months. She could say do like food, if she was thirsty, if she wanted more,
Oh, so was they
if she
just
was all
being
done.
taught? Sorry, was it just being
And she
already
used,
taught to her that young? Oh,
yeah, at
cool.
her
I
daycare.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was long before
Yeah.
she ever even really started talking. Like she didn't even say her first word until probably 6, 7 months ago, and she's like almost 2.5 now. Like, because she just relied
Right.
on doing that, or if she wanted you to turn the TV up more, she'd like grab the clicker and then sign that she
Interesting.
wanted more. So you knew like turn the volume up or like stop this. She doesn't want this
Yeah.
show anymore. Like
Yeah, she
stop
was like,
it.
this is
All
pretty
done.
effective.
So
What about these
yeah,
words? I guess I'll give them a try.
yeah,
That's so neat though.
yeah. So it seems like that's kind of how they taught the gorillas. They'd do like, okay, this is how you ask for like this kind of thing, and then start teaching them
Cute.
different words. It said that Koko learned about 1,000 words in American Sign Language and understood like spoken about 1,000 to 2,000
Oh,
more
okay.
like words in English.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Oh, this is where it is. Koko remained with her mother until the age of 1 when, and I couldn't find any more information about this. It said when Koko was taken to the zoo's hospital to be treated for a life-threatening illness. And then there's like
Oh
no more
no.
information about that. So yeah, I don't really know what that was about, but
Okay,
obviously she
yeah.
survived.
Dang.
Um, yeah. The next year, the Koko project moved from the kind of being held more at the zoo to a trailer that was on the zoo's grounds, but like not kind of
Okay.
in public eye or anything like that. And then the next year, Koko relocated from the zoo to a compound that was located on the Stanford University
Oh,
campus.
Stanford. Ever heard of
So,
it?
yeah.
Cool.
All right. 1976, the Gorilla Foundation is established, and they get sole custody of Koko by 1977. And then Michael, who was kind of like a rescued uh,
Oh.
orphan from Cameroon, is described as like a bushmeat orphan. So he'd been captured and everything was going to be sold, like killed
Oh.
and sold for meat. So they rescued him and he was brought to stay with Koko as well, taken in by the foundation.
Love it.
And he was intended.
And now
Yeah,
he's like
I
her
was like, that
brother.
made me sad.
So cute.
Uh,
Oh,
Not exactly. They intended him to be
you
Koko's
can't
companion
force
and
it,
possible
guys. You
future
don't
mate.
know if they're even compatible.
So, yeah,
Ugh.
right. Uh, He also received sign language lessons and helped expand the scope of the
Cool.
foundation's language and behavioral studies. And it's in 1976 that Koko and Penny, or Dr. Patterson, received National Geographic Society grant for their studies.
Nice.
So they got like a bunch of money.
You had me at a bunch of money.
Right? Somebody give us a grant.
Fucking
I don't know
Sasquatch
what we're
sightings.
studying, but give us a grant.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. A grant into how much Gordo can disrupt a podcast.
Seriously, we're like prime territory where we can. The guy that Pat watches on YouTube that goes Bigfoot hunting. He lives in southern Alberta. So he goes out near like, you know, the national parks down there, like the Canmore and Banff, and I think down in that area. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, so close to home.
Well, you gotta be like the big open forested areas that aren't like right by like big cities.
Like, I think that's why I've heard a lot of and people will make fun of the
one
sightings
with nature.
That, like, there was one I mentioned to you, and then I think I sent it to you, where the guy said he filmed it off a moving train, and it was sort of in like a field. Oh, and then he just sat down, and a lot of people I remember they were making fun. Yeah, the skeptical guy on the Neatcast was like, okay, that one that just looked like he was just taking a shit, and like, of course, they just got it out of a moving train, and blah blah blah. And it's like, it's a little. Can't always get that good of a sighting. It's usually behind trees because they live in the fucking woods. Anyway.
Yeah.
Bigfoot rant over.
Yeah. 1977, there is a landmark article called The Pursuit of Reason. That was on interspecies communication and animal rights, and it features the foundation's work. It was published by the New York Times, and it brought international attention to the groundbreaking studies.
I always get nervous when I hear something start with interspecies, but then it was just studies or whatever. Just on the back of communication.
Interspecies communication. Yeah.
I was looking up stuff for our new Patreon segment, and there was something that was called 50 Shades of Mothman.
Oh my god,
so we'll see if it's any good, and maybe you'll be hearing about it on our new Patreon segment.
Damn.
Oh, so cringe.
Cringe. All right. And so this is where I had her, because you already brought her up. 1978, Dr. Jane Goodall. She visits the foundation to share some information about great apes. And she ends up actually asking Koko for information to help her research into wild chimpanzees.
Sorry, there was a car. I did warn Kelsey I had to open my window because it was damn hot in here. Yes, that makes sense that she would pop up.
Yeah. Koko, a talking gorilla, which was a 90-minute documentary, is released. And Koko appears on the cover of National Geographic in a photo that the gorilla took of herself in a mirror. And it's actually a really cute picture. She's like holding up an old school camera, and she like
because
takes a picture of herself.
Front-facing cameras on smartphones, taking a selfie was hard damn work. So like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you had to do it in your reflection in a mirror, but it's really cute. Actually,
do you have a picture of that one on the drive? I can look it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, that's a picture. She's on the cover of National Geographic a second time. They're kind of side by side. So you'll see the other one too. But I really like the one of her taking her picture in the camera. They said she had pretty good like, they say animals most of them can't recognize themselves. Like, they don't have awareness that what they are looking at is themselves in a mirror. So they said in that picture it was kind of groundbreaking that clearly she, in their eyes, like at least somewhat understood that she was taking a picture of herself.
Cool. Okay.
Or at least knew how to hold the camera, because she's holding the camera like perfectly. I love it. And then 1979, the foundation moves from the Stanford campus to a forested highlands, into the forested highlands of Woodside, California. And this was to provide a more protected environment for Koko and for Michael. And that same year, Koko was featured on a segment
it
on
can't be
60
this one
Minutes.
called Host Selfie, because that's just fucking creepy. What is that? On the drive.
Host
Okay,
selfie.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
No.
It looks like something AI
I have no idea what
created
that
as
is.
a demon. Okay, never mind. Okay. I'll put it up somewhere. It's weird. Okay. I couldn't find them with the
Yeah, I didn't upload that.
selfie picture then, but I'll look it up.
No?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can Google it. Just type in Koko National Geographic. It's so cute. So 1981, construction is completed on the gorilla's 250 square foot indoor facility, as well as an attached 676 square foot outdoor play yard that was allowing the gorillas. Yeah, it's so cute. Allowing the gorillas to interact more, and was filled with new enrichment activities.
Cool.
There was a book titled The Education of Koko that was documenting the early years and discoveries of the project that was published and released. And Dr. Patterson held an international symposium all about the research, all about their research on great apes.
It's very cute.
Isn't it cute? Like, she's holding
supporting
the
it
camera,
with one hand underneath and one
very like a person would.
Yeah.
Because it's like an old school camera, so that's how you would take that picture.
Your neck, and it's wrapped around your neck. Yeah. Also, how it's so cute.
I'm obsessed with it
on our socials and website and all the things.
Yeah.
But then how weird is it that the second after I looked up like Koko Nat Geo, I got an email from National Geographic 2 seconds later.
Oh shit. Yeah. I had to unsubscribe from them because they kept sending me stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, your free article thing is past the amount." And I was like, "Well, why the fuck am I?
They do send a lot of emails,
block you guys.
They do have a lot of good articles that I'm like, stop putting things behind a paywall, damn it. But then I guess that's the way things are right now. Yeah, but if they can't sell like the
can't
printed
read
versions,
this.
they gotta make money somehow, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so they have this new facility. There's a book. Oh, I did that. Oh, next part. 1982. Apple, who's a Landseer Newfoundland puppy, he joins Koko and Michael.
Land puppy.
I meant to look this up. Shit. I don't know if there's a picture of this.
I think you only had a couple pictures.
So, I'm sorry. Yeah. Apple's pretty cute.
Dogs, right? Yeah.
Michael, who
you said it was a
he's pretty small. I don't know. A Landseer.
I've heard of Newfoundland dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. He's pretty small. So like Koko's partner Michael, he was known for like painting and stuff. So he actually painted Apple in a piece of art that was called Apple Chase, like chasing somebody.
Yeah.
Which shows, which is actually pretty cute. Apple was like black and white dog.
It says they're a black and white
the painting is just kind of like
they look
profile.
Really cute.
Yeah, so cute. It's kind of like a profile shot, like just kind of messy black and white, but you can tell like the black's where it should be and the white's where it should be. And they said the picture shows Apple chasing Michael, which is what apparently Apple's favorite thing to do.
So the dog is chasing the gorilla around.
Yeah, but in the picture, it's basically just Apple, the dog's like head in a side profile. So I don't know, but
Apple
yeah,
Chase.
they called it Apple Chase.
That's
but it's pretty
Gwyneth
cute.
Paltrow's third child's
Yeah.
name. No, wait, who named their kid Apple?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Was it? Okay. For a minute, I got.
It was them.
Okay. I think I was
Yeah,
looking
her
and
and
I was
Chris
like, wait,
Martin or
Fiona
whatever the
Apple,
fuck.
but that was just a singer, a different person.
Yeah. No,
That's
their
a choice,
kid's
but
name is
okay.
Apple. Yeah. The next year, 1983, Koko became fascinated by these tiny tree frogs,
Tree frogs are
that
so
I guess
cute.
lived in their enclosure in like the forested part.
Aw.
Yeah, they're tiny. It said that she captured one and cradled it under her arm,
Oh.
and it said she was protecting it from Michael. I don't really know why, but it said that the handlers and her keepers are like astonished as they watch her carry it around for a while, then place it on some rocks, and then put like a tub thing over it to protect it.
Because as a little kid, you think you're
Right?
sometimes helping little frogs and things,
And
but then you don't realize they can't get out and they fry in the sun, in the hot
yeah.
sun. Oh no. It's fine. I'm not traumatized.
Yeah. But it said people are struck by Koko's innate gentleness and nurturing spirit towards small, more vulnerable creatures, and her regard for other species. Koko asks her handlers for a cat for Christmas, like a kitten, and they end up giving her a stuffed one, which apparently makes her sad because she refuses to play with it and communicates that she is sad.
Yeah,
and wants a
that
real
sounds like
cat.
something your kid would do. My daughter's often wanted a cat. Yeah. It's like, what is
I
this?
want a
This is
puppy. I want a
bullshit.
kitten. Yeah.
This is just robot kitty or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next year, 1984, the Gorilla Foundation holds a gorilla-created artwork exhibition in Honolulu to raise public awareness about the foundation and to try and establish a gorilla
Cool.
preserve in Hawaii. Yeah, they kind of work on this a really long time, trying to get this Hawaii preserve and everything going. Koko ends up being gifted a litter of kittens for her birthday and told she gets to select one. She picks out. Yeah, it's actually kind of cute. There's a video of her.
Well, she's been sulking.
They're like, here's a bucket of kittens.
It's Christmas.
She's just like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right? She picks this tailless kitten. So a kitten without a tail, and she names it All Ball.
That's the other picture on the drive. I assumed she had a small baby. It was hard to tell what it was.
Yeah, she often cradles it like a baby in her arm. It's cute.
Well, that's cute because
All Ball becomes pretty
we
popular.
Knew this kid, my mom's friend's kid, who was like, I can fit a whole kitten's head in my mouth. It's like, why do you know that?
Oh no! Don't do that.
Yeah, like a
stick to your fist, not a kitten's head. Yeah.
Oh god.
Or like how many marshmallows you can fit in there.
Seriously.
Right. So the next year, 1985, Koko's Kitten, a children's book, is released and becomes a classic and gets featured on Reading Rainbow.
Love it. LeVar Burton also has a podcast that I need to listen to.
Yeah.
Reading Rainbow.
Yeah. National Geographic publishes the cover story, Koko's Kitten, with the iconic image of Koko cradling All Ball, which is the second time she was on the cover. The first was her taking a picture of herself, and then the second one's her with
cover
All Ball.
girl.
Yeah. And Koko gets interviewed by Hugh Down for 2020. Like the other one. So she's been on 60 Minutes, now 2020.
Yeah. Couldn't be me.
The 19 1986, the picture of Koko holding All Ball is selected as Time Magazine's Picture of the
Nice.
Year for 1985. And Koko and All Ball are featured in the 1986 Guinness World Records book. Didn't really say what their world record was,
First
but
animal
okay.
with 2 covers on National Geographic. I don't know.
I don't really know. OG, cute, unlikely
Right before YouTube.
animal friends? I don't know. Like those freaking Instagram and like unlikely animal friend
That stuff
videos.
is fun.
They were the first. So cute. There's this Dankin Toys company that releases 2 plush Koko stuffed animals. One of them is actually
Oh
life-sized.
my.
Should have looked that up. That's probably cute. Yeah. And during this year, the foundation continues to try and establish that gorilla preserve in Hawaii. The next year, 1987, Koko's Story, another children's book detailing Koko's early life, is released. And the next year, 1988, William Shatner teams up with Koko as part of a program which allows, this is so weird, Californians to donate to save their state's endangered species by checking off a box on their tax forms.
I mean, random, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got William Shatner and Koko
Not that
helping
I guess he's
Americans
just, like,
with their
not known
taxes.
for being
No.
an animal activist, so I'm just like, okay. I know you like paranormal things.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's what's like, oh god, William Shatner. Discover magazine features attempts to help Koko start a family with an article titled "Sex and the Single Gorilla." I think it was a play on like Sex in the City or
yeah,
something
like
but
that.
yeah,
it's
but
odd.
Sex and the Single Gorilla. Yeah, I don't really know. In the next 2 years after that, Koko's Kitten, that book is dramatized and released as a video production. And then, yeah, Koko and Michael are featured in the book Gorillas. They have like a little chapter that kind of talks about them, and then more of their artwork is exhibited. It's kind of
I'm feeling bad.
No, I don't think.
All right, I'll see myself out. No.
I'm useless.
I love that song.
Not for long. I love the Gorillas. Okay. The next year, 1991, I think this would be like Nadumi, who's a 10-year-old male gorilla. He is added to the foundation from the Cincinnati Zoo. This was like original matchmaking. It's kind of funny. He was selected by Koko after watching a bunch of videos of available male companions. So it's Koko dating show.
Pre-online dating. Wow. That's crazy.
And yeah, it said that Nadumi had been already fathered 3 children. I don't know what the age of
but
gorillas
like,
are. He was only 10.
Nature shows in the wild, they have like no idea which kids are theirs. They'll be like, this one has a child, but that one doesn't know that over there, that's her father. I'm like, oh, I guess they just don't know. They just know they got preggo. Maybe they. Yeah.
Some of them don't. I feel like certain animal species. I think
they're like maybe more monogamous, but some of the monkeys are just like, well.
Yeah, or like the scent.
Yeah.
Some of them they can like scent that. Yeah. I guess by 1992 they had figured out there isn't a whole lot about this, but there's like a gorilla-proof voice computer that they build for Koko that I think they can like they teach her to push buttons on and it like says certain words, maybe words she can't sign, and stuff, but they made it gorilla proof. Apparently, they thought maybe she would break it. I don't really know about that as well, but they say it's featured on like multiple magazines along with Koko, as well as like all these like scientific and like
That's neat.
IT magazines. Like,
Well,
ooh, computers.
yeah.
The next year, the Gorilla Foundation finally gets a long-term lease for land on Hawaii, where they plan to build that protection and preservation thing for gorillas and other endangered species. 1994, Koko and her computer are featured in another magazine, and Michael and Koko are featured in a 17-minute-long learning video called Animal Intelligence, which teaches children
Aw.
about the abilities of animals. It's
Neat.
kind of cute. Yeah. 1995, the foundation makes history as Koko becomes the first non-human to actually do the talking
Oh,
in a TV
cool.
commercial. I should have tried to look that up. I think it was probably with like either the computer or somebody like interpreting, because she couldn't
I
make like
guess.
vocal words, obviously. So
As I'm coming. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Huh.
And then 48 Hours, one of the next biggest like things of the 90s, features Koko in a segment called Talking to the Animals. So I'm hitting up all the big things. 48 Hours,
Right?
2020,
What the
60
hell?
Minutes. Like,
I had a
she
talking
everywhere.
horse and she didn't get on any of those. Now you're talking gorillas everywhere. Favoritism.
Yeah. She was like 100 years too early, I guess. Or
Right,
like
because
70
this is
years
still
too
the
early.
80s.
Damn it.
Okay. Or 1990. Yeah. Wow.
This is
How
mid
long did they live,
90s.
I wonder?
Yeah.
I'm
19
curious now.
it said
Oh.
normally like 30s to 40s, but in captivity
Huh.
normally like 40s
Wow.
to 50s. It depends. Yeah. 1996,
Okay.
Koko celebrates her 25th birthday with
So now
gifts
we
and
know she's
celebrations from around the
5?
world.
Okay.
Um,
Huh.
yeah, she's 25. Koko's niece, uh, Binti Ja, makes international news when she helps a young boy who fell into the gorilla compound at the
Oh
Brookfield Zoo.
no. That
Um,
happens.
yeah. Um, and they told Koko about this, I guess, and Koko commented about her niece's actions with lip, which I guess was the sign for girl, saying laying
Oh.
like girl good. So I was like, I guess proud of her niece.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because
It's
the
cute.
niece was in the enclosure that the kid fell in.
Yeah,
Ah.
I think so. Like quick, get us Binti, airlift her in.
Yeah,
She's
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
like an
but that does
Avenger. I don't fucking know.
right.
Yeah, I
But that
assumed she
doesn't
was
always
in the
end well,
enclosure.
yeah. Well.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's horrifying. 1997, the Gorilla Foundation begins focusing more so on conservation efforts and education to stop the
Mm.
killing of apes for bushmeat, or like exotic, kind of like
Okay,
trying to prevent
yeah.
the exotic animal trade. Um, 1998, Fred Rogers, who was said to be Koko's favorite TV personality, he visits Koko, and this like gets aired on
Okay, I was
television
just
as
gonna
part of
say,
Mr. Rogers'
like
Neighborhood, which
Rogers?
is pretty cute.
All
Yeah,
right. That's
yeah.
wholesome.
Um, yeah. 1999, PBS airs a nature documentary, A Conversation with Koko, and it's the first comprehensive overview of Project Koko
Aw.
as told by Koko herself. And it becomes one of PBS's most highly watched programs. The end of the program focuses on the conservation efforts they're doing in Hawaii and allowing, or like they want to allow Koko to play the role of like ambassador for her species, and ambassador for like
Oh my
her
gosh,
habitats and
it's your
like the
brand.
rainforest. Yeah. Dr. Patterson in
Oh,
1999 also holds a TED Talk, which I didn't
I
know those
know,
went back to the
yeah.
1990s, but wow.
Yeah, somehow they feel more
I was just
recently,
like,
like, or maybe just
damn.
people, like, casually mentioning them. Yeah.
They're
Part
just
of the
on fucking
vernacular.
YouTube. Yeah, I thought it
Yeah.
was just a YouTube thing. I was like, it was not a thing
Oh,
in
okay. I was like,
1999,
I
but
didn't
apparently it
even know
was.
about YouTube. I think I've maybe seen one ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The year 2000, Michael the gorilla, at age
Oh
28, passes away from
no.
congestive heart failure.
That's not good.
Yeah. Um, yeah, they do honor him. The next year, in 2001, when a Maui preserve, or the Maui Preserve in Hawaii, gets a ground blessing and initial construction begins, and the Michael Sanctuary for Orphaned Gorillas opens in
Oh, because
Cameroon,
that's where he was
Africa.
from.
Which is cute.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice. That's sweet.
Yeah. Buddy.
He's like, it's been
Not the amazing
45 minutes
Gordo.
since I've
Not
annoyed
what
you.
this episode's about. Yeah. 2002, Koko and Leonardo DiCaprio film a video for the Diane Fossey Gorilla Fest.
He's like,
yeah, I was like, Leonardo DiCaprio. I know he has a lot of like stuff about the environment and
yeah.
conservation and stuff,
Right.
but I
I
just was
just
not
picture him
expecting
being
these
like
name
to his
drops.
agent, like, that's not the kind of Coco I thought that was gonna be.
Yeah, so they work with the Diane Fossey Gorilla Fund to celebrate the 100-year anniversary of the scientific discovery of the mountain
okay.
gorilla. Which, yeah. In 2003, there's like this thing called Koko TV, which was educational programs about Koko and conservation get released. Like a streaming service.
Oh, Coco all the
Weird.
time.
In 2003. Yeah, the Gorilla Foundation launches a public TV, radio, and print campaign focusing on Koko and Robin Williams, honorary co-chair of the Maui Ape Preserve campaign, and together they raise awareness of the need to act to save gorillas from extinction. So that's where Robin Williams come in, and that's what I had. That's one of the only things I knew about Koko, is that she knew sign language, and she had talked with Robin Williams.
You're like, this is all I remembered
all
from
I knew
my
about Koko.
child brain or something. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
He was a wonderful man. Troubled.
Yeah. I want to see his daughter's movie.
Okay,
She just released her first movie. Oh my god, what is it? It's that like little Frankenstein movie. Lisa Frankenstein or something. It got poor reviews, but it looks cute. I don't know.
Like a family movie or whatever.
I feel like people are too hard on it. But her name's Zelda.
Okay.
Zelda Williams. Because apparently Robin Williams really liked Legend of Zelda.
This sounds familiar.
So he named his daughter Zelda.
And that's also awesome. That's a cool name. I like Zelda.
Yeah. Yeah, Zelda's a fucking badass name. This I thought was kind of cool. 2004, Koko reports that she has a toothache and uses a pain chart to convey the severity of the problem and requests to see a doctor. After a full medical exam and gum surgery performed by a team of Stanford doctors, she receives a clean bill of health. And another name drop, ready? Betty White, renowned actor and animal advocate, joins the Gorilla Foundation board of directors. Yay, Betty White!
Oh, God rest her soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
All these people.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. 2006, there's a paper published by Dr. Joan Tanner about the discovery that gorillas seem to have their own natural gestural or sign language. And this discovery may facilitate facilitate their learning a human sign language, such as ASL, that they may just be like more able to do it. because they seem to have more gestures than like a lot
Well,
of
they got opposable
animals
thumbs and
do,
everything.
really.
They can make those hand gestures
Yeah.
like Italians. And they're just as hairy. No. Oh! Shots fired.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
She's
Shots
spicy
fired.
today.
2007, the Gorilla Foundation develops and presents at numerous conferences that they've developed a sign language tutorial database called Zest.
Oh, okay.
Zoo Enriching Signing
That's
Tutorial.
a cool acronym.
A little bit of Zest, yeah. Yeah. Developed by the foundation to help other great ape facilities benefit from this, what they described as being a two-way communication between apes and caregivers. So it gives like the captive apes more of a chance to communicate their needs.
Having big hairy babies. You wish they could talk.
Which they believed would be beneficial. Yeah. This was kind of funny. 2010, Koko joins Twitter, Facebook, and gets a YouTube channel.
I guess, yeah. I mean, stuff started to become big in like 2008, around that time.
I assume it's all somebody doing it for her.
But like, okay, but I've also seen videos where like they give some sort of monkey like a cell phone, and then they like have to take it away from them because they literally are addicted to it like a human would be. And I'm like, yeah. Okay. It's not just us.
About the same time, they started making more upgrades to the Woodside Gorilla facility as the plans to open that Hawaii sanctuary fall through, because they find out that they need a lot more fundraising and it's going to take a lot longer. So they focus more of their efforts on upgrading the facilities they currently have for the gorillas that they currently have. So they're still trying to work on the one in Hawaii. A few years later, in 2016, a documentary called Koko, the Gorilla Who Talks is released by the BBC, and it details the personal side of Project Koko and the mission Koko and Dr. Pattison share in saving great apes from extinction, and the way a shared language provides better interspecies enrichment.
Interspecies enrichment.
We'll get to it. There's some weird stuff. Yeah, I was just like, this is not what I was expecting when I started looking at some of this stuff.
To know.
We'll get to it. 2017, a prototype app is developed, I think by the foundation, with the potential to teach millions of people and hundreds of captive great apes to sign, just like Koko does. So it's like this app that kind of teaches you. And a powerful new concept emerges in parallel with the new app that all gorillas are Kokos, at least potentially.
We're all cool. Like her. That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't have too much more. This is just kind of random stuff. There was an article from the Toronto Star by Andrea Tether. I don't know if it's just her opinion or her she has like a hyphenated last name, so it's Tether Opinion, but that would be kind of weird. I don't know. It was very confusing. It was not
that's a thinker.
Well laid out, whatever the article thing was, because it was
her opinion. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So it said because her little kitten Allball had actually died after only being with Koko for like a year or so. It died in December of I put 1884. I'm positive that I should say 1984. After escaping Koko's cage and got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Just so sad. A poor little Allball. It said that they witnessed Koko openly mourning. They said that she was signing like cat, cry, have sorry, Koko love, unattention, and visit me.
Maybe she did. This
sad.
is her after. That'd be so cool.
Maybe. Another source said that when she heard the news, she said, bad, sad, bad, frown, cry,
She's
frown, sad, trouble.
Expressing it in all the words she has. Yeah.
Yeah. It said that Koko's behavior echoed Dr. Jane Goodall's findings decades earlier in the forests of Tanzania, where the famous primatologist witnessed similar responses during the course of her research on wild chimpanzees. So, like, that they could mourn and, like, that they at least somewhat, like, understood death and that kind of stuff. It said, like Koko, chimpanzees understand and grieve the death of one of their kind. It said, when Flo, one of the chimpanzees Goodall studied closely, passed away in 1972, her son, 8-year-old Flint, was unable to cope. The small chimp climbed into a tree and refused to eat or interact with the others, showing all the signs of clinical depression. And they witnessed as he died within a month of losing his mother, demonstrating the potentially devastating toll of early separation between parent and child.
Yeah.
Which is just heartbreaking. Yeah. I believe this was also from the article. It said one of Goodall's favorite stories about Koko, whom she met, is one that demonstrates apes have a sense of humor. I wish I had more stories like this I could have shared, because this is so funny, I think. Koko knew and could sign different colors. While waiting for dinner one day, a researcher picked up various items, and Koko accurately was signing their color. When a white cloth was chosen, Koko signed red. She was shown the cloth again, and Koko repeatedly signed red. Finally, Koko was told that if she did not give the correct color, that there would be no apple juice at dinner. Koko took the cloth, picked off a tiny piece of red fluff, and signed red, 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 while uttering grunts of gorilla laughter.
There was a red fiber!
Which I think is...
yeah, and the
Which I thought was kind of funny. It's like, yeah. I thought that was cute. I wish I ran across more stories of that.
Like laugh. Like there's a
there wasn't a lot, weirdly.
Pat's like, oh yeah, like it's kind of like they're like, but you're like, and Pat's like, no, that's kind of like how they like laugh when you're playing with them. I was like, oh,
yeah,
so cute.
Yeah. Before we get to some of the controversies, it is noted, so fairly recently, like, Koko has actually passed away, and I remember when this happened, that's why they were talking about Robin Williams a lot. She died in her sleep in California on June 21st, 2018, at the age of 46.
She made it almost to 50.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all good. We've been talking for a while.
I'm almost done. So getting to these controversies, there's quite a few. Many articles that I ran across even detail the fact that it was reported that Michael and Nadumi weren't receiving the same level of care or attention that Koko did.
No, that sucks though.
Sort of. Prior employees even that worked with them pointed out that Koko was often left in a trailer to watch hours of TV when she wasn't needed by the study. Like, they would just leave her alone to watch TV.
It's not great parenting.
Yeah. No. The gorillas' diets were also said to be filled with inappropriate treat-based human foods, including sweets, like chocolate. It also said non-alcoholic beer. Which, wow. It said that they also fed them, like, a traditional human, like, Thanksgiving dinner almost every year, and it's like, yeah, that's not really food that gorillas should be eating. Like, fucking turkey and all that kind of shit. Yeah. It said that they would feed them these treats and sweets in an effort to give them these, what was described as excessive amounts of what some said were unnecessary pills that they were given every day. It said like up to hundreds of pills a day they were all consuming, because there was these 5 to 15 different homeopathic nutritional supplements, like that a lot of people said were unnecessary. They didn't
Yeah, I
need to
don't
be
understand
taking.
homeopathic great, but I don't think they
So
have
they
very
like
high
bribe them with
concentrated
the.
amounts of anything in most homeopathic stuff. So,
No. But they would
um,
have to like bribe them a lot of times to like keep taking, because they were
yeah.
taking like up to 100
No,
pills a
but
day. Like who wants to do that? Um then the worst, or one of the worst things, I guess, is apparently Koko had some
oh,
weird fascination with nipples, both male and female. This comes up almost immediately when you type in Koko. It's kind of wild. Um with several former employees stating that they were pressured or forced by Koko, as well as organization's executive team, to
what?
basically flash Koko. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it's wild. Um,
She just liked them titties.
yeah. Uh, maybe. Like,
This
I
is
don't know where this
insane.
happened. Yeah. But there's a lot. There was like half of her
Oh my
Wikipedia
God, you go to
article is
visit her and then
just
she just
about
like
this.
starts playing.
I was like, oh shit.
Ah!
Flash me! Yeah. Um, it did have from Wikipedia, on another occasion, one of the gorilla's handlers told the woman that Koko
Oh,
wanted to be left alone with her. When the woman went to Koko's enclosure, Koko began
oh
signing,
no.
apparently, and I don't believe this, because she, as all the phrases I've told you,
Yeah.
spoke like very broken. So, but they're claiming she signed, "Let down your hair, lie down on the floor,
Oh
show
my
your
God.
breasts again, close your eyes," before
This is
before
just,
beginning to squat and
just
breathe
like
heavily.
slut shaming or something. Yeah, this is. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know where Koko
yeah.
picked this up, but yeah, maybe
Sounds a
all that
little
TV you guys were letting
homophobic.
her watch. Uh, but like, and the thing,
Yeah.
even when she's saying like cry, sad, cry, like, you think she's gonna sign,
Yeah, I
"Let
don't
down
think
your
she
hair, lie
knows
down on the floor"?
like anything
No,
other
that's
than
not
like
how.
nouns
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. Um, yeah, but there was all these lawsuits, like
Wow.
dozens of former employees
Oh,
came forward with similar stories. The lawsuits seemed like were all settled out of court. When asked to comment on the matter, gorilla expert Kristen Lucas said that other gorillas are not known to have a similar nipple
fetish.
fixation. But yeah. Um, And then a former caregiver stated that Dr. Patterson, would often interpret the sign for nipple as a sound alike for people, when the notable donors were present. So if she was like signing like nipple, she would just say, "Oh, she's signing people because you guys
Huh.
are here." So she's saying people, 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 because there's lots of people. But in reality, the people that were there, like the caregivers that knew that sign, were like, "She's not
And I
signing
guess
people,
that
she's
wouldn't
signing
be a word
nipple,"
you'd be like, well,
according
we
to them.
can't teach her the word for
So I don't
nipple,
know.
but like, it's so weird.
Yeah, there was a lot of stories about her acting weird, and the ones I didn't like were the ones where uh the stories where like female employees were told by like male members of the executive team to like, presumably there's cameras everywhere,
Oh,
to be like
because the gorilla
flashing
wants it, quote
Koko and
unquote.
stuff,
Yeah,
or like
like,
lifting their
okay,
shirts up.
no, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah,
Ugh,
those are the ones I was like, really? Like, that really? That's
so
Koko
weird.
and not just like you perverts? Yeah. But yeah, it comes up a lot. It's like all
Oh
over.
my
They're like,
God.
"Oh, Koko and her weird nipple fascination," apparently. Um, yeah. But yeah, that's Koko. It's
I
kind of
was like,
crazy.
wait, are we gonna end on
Just
that?
ended on that note.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right?
because I didn't
To
know where
nipple or
else to
not
put
to
it.
nipple? Where do you? That's the question. Where to put it? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Well, fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. like I said, I had heard of Koko. I knew she knew sign language. I knew she hung out with like Robin Williams and them.
That maybe explains the Leonardo DiCaprio thing too.
Kind of interesting.
He heard about Koko's nipples. Was like, it's another supermodel that I can date? No. Oh my god. All right.
It did say after their controversies and like the lawsuits and stuff that one of the only remaining celebrity endorsements they had on their board of like directors at the foundation was Betty White. She's one of the only ones that stayed. And I was like, God damn, Betty White.
Yeah, probably.
She probably thought it was fucking hilarious.
I'm like, I don't think too much more into that.
Yeah, it said everybody else like withdrew their support for the foundation and like left the board of directors, all except for Betty White.
People are so fickle.
It's like, damn.
You have one controversy.
Yeah, I don't really believe necessarily like the one about like what she was claiming to sign, because that's not how any of the other things talked about her being able to sign. Like, it's basically a one, maybe 2 words. Most of the time it's just 1 word. It's not like 4-word little short sentence, 4 or 5 word sentences. Like, no. That's somebody manipulating what she's probably signing for their own gain.
And I don't know, I can't help. I think this is something from like South Park or something now that's coming into my head, where it was like sexual harassment.
Right?
I'm like, this is so bizarre.
Yeah. I was like, how do you get sexually harassed by a gorilla? Like,
dolphins are weird.
I mean, it sucks.
Otters do some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And like, dogs will hump the shit out of your leg. And
I caught the dog licking Pat's pillow the other day because he's just bizarre. Anyway, that was awesome. All right, we're gonna go take a break so Kelsey can go blow her nose.
Yeah, sorry guys. And Alanna, she'll have to edit this one. I tried.
Darkcast Network. The light shines brightest on our indie podcasts.
Welcome to Creepy Tapas, where we do the opposite of deep dives and bring you tiny tastes of terror connected by a common ingredient.
True stories to haunt and chill you and the pop culture they inspired.
Or at least the movies and books that remind us of them.
Join us as we descend into darkness,
beginning with the lighter side of our weekly topic,
and wrapping with a full dark, no stars account of terror, madness, murder, and more. It's Creepy Tapas, y'all.
All right, we are back. Hope you enjoyed that break. And just said to Kelsey, I went downstairs and they're literally watching one of the movies with Kong in it. It might be a closet. Still, there was a giant gorilla on the screen.
What are the chances?
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, so you kind of hinted at sort of the theme of mine that ended up being a couple of war hero animals.
Nice. There's quite a few of them.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And when the first one, like I said, I was like, well, that's not really long. Maybe I can fit in one of these other ones I heard about too that I thought was cool.
Yeah.
They were pretty short, like stories. I don't know. And then, well, the first one, I had told you I was covering this one called Unsinkable Sam, which kind of made me think of it wasn't the Unsinkable Molly Brown you covered, but it was was it Violet Jessup or something she was on the sinking vessels or whatever several times.
Yeah, Titanic and then a couple other ones. It's like, damn, you either are lucky or you keep making these ships sink.
Right.
You're unlucky to everybody else because you live, but everybody else dies.
Oh no. I mean, like, wartime and stuff and all those ships and things, but like when it came to the animals, they actually had a lot to do with the superstition of whether or not the voyage was going to go well, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of times
I've
they
heard
would have
about
a
like
mascot.
cats on a ship to get rid of
Yes.
mice.
Yeah. Yeah, they get rid of mice, which could then mice and rats, which can cause big problems eating away at like even ropes and stuff, not just food, but they'll eat like
Yeah.
all
And
sorts of equipment.
disease.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, they didn't really know that they brought the diseases, but they were like, cat's good, superstitious, rat's bad, and like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yes. And then it was funny because then today, and it tied right into it, I was catching up on some dark poutine, however you want to say it. And there was we had a big Canadian shipwreck disaster like that apparently killed more people than the Titanic, but you don't hear about it too much. It was the Empress of
Yeah.
Ireland disaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they said the cat that was supposed to be like the ship mascot or be on the ship or whatever kept running off. It like left its kittens on board. It didn't want to go on that voyage so bad. And it's like
Oh.
that cat knew something was going down.
Yeah. It sacrificed its own kittens? Like, peace, I'm out.
It did. It left the ship and it left the kittens, I guess.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It is kind of sad. I'm sorry. Some of this is nice and some of this one is a little sad.
Yeah.
It's always sad with the animals.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, anyway. All right. So to start off with, Unsinkable Sam. He was a simple cat that found itself in unthinkable circumstances. Could have belonged to the unsinkable Molly Brown.
Yeah.
I don't know much about her. I just knew the name.
Yeah, I know nothing.
I'm just going to drop it. Okay. So this guy, his life at sea began upon the German ship, the Bismarck, which was a mighty warship, one of the largest such vessels built by Germany at the time, I think.
Okay. I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Name's familiar.
The name, and it was named after a dude. I think I have it later.
Some dude.
I was like, I knew the name sounded familiar too. Yeah. Okay, so he was either originally named Oscar or originally named Sam. One of the two.
Different names.
There's a little bit conflicting information. I have a little bit more on who might have named him Oscar in a little bit, but either way, I think Unsinkable Sam just probably had that catchiness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely aboard the Bismarck before May of 1941, which is when they were going to have some trouble. And he was, I have a quote here, but when he was thought to have been born, which was he was thought to have been born around 1940. The legend of this unsinkable feline all started, so it's said, in 1941 aboard the mighty German battleship Bismarck. The pride of the German fleet, the Bismarck set sail on May 18th that year to embark on her Let me try that again. On her first and last ever mission, Operation Rheinenbung, or Rhine exercise. Probably said that wrong. I know, I was like, what does that say?
Sam's pretty cute. It looks like a little tuxedo cat.
Yeah, little black and white dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Yeah. I know there's like a couple cute pictures of him, but those were the ones I didn't put into a folder by accident.
I went back. I was like, oh, where? I like the little portrait somebody painted of him.
Like a painting, yeah. That's so cute.
Cute.
You know you're special when. Although you can get those done nowadays of your own pets. You see those that people get done in like oil paintings, and then
they look like a king.
Yeah, like exactly like royal clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun. We sell them sometimes at work. They have just like print ones they do of like a generic bulldog or a little cat, normally an orange tabby of some kind.
Which probably looks exactly like a bunch of people's cats. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also ran upon quote, animals have been essential members of a ship's crew throughout history. Dogs, cats, birds, monkeys, and even bear cubs have served as ship mascots. Sorry.
Okay.
But cats appear to be the standout favorite for mariners. And apparently this practice does go back to ancient times, primarily to control rodents, as you mentioned. Who eat things and spread diseases. Yay. But also to cheer up and be like a companion to the crew as well.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking cute. It's hard to be depressed around an animal.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you want to have one in like an old folks home or somewhere where you need a little bit of cheering up sometimes. Anytime someone brings their dog in for a visit, that like one of our coworkers, everybody gets really excited.
Yeah, it's great.
They're all like, oh, time to get down on the floor and play with a dog. Oh, and yeah, they did use all kinds of, sorry. What did it? Reverse. It would cheer up the crew. They were good companions, and cats are known to be adaptable. And I put good companions when they want to be.
Yeah, they can be pretty
like
independent. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I know I do present as a bit more of a dog person, but I do like cats.
Yeah.
And even mongeese were used at times.
Oh.
But yeah, I think he was like, oh yeah, I was like, maybe he was just a stowaway, but yeah, he was definitely an official mascot.
Cute.
Of at least one of the vessels. Yeah. Oh, but for an example of a weird one mascot, a Gibraltar macaque was given special treatment on board the HMS Dalrymple in the 1940s. And another animal was Percy the python, owned by...
Percy. I mean, that would help with mice for sure, but also it's a python.
Right?
It's a little more dangerous
just like
than
Britney
a cat.
Spearsing it around the place on his shoulders.
No.
He was owned by a young officer serving on the submarine HMS Andrew in the Far East in the 1950s. Oh my gosh, that's pretty recent. Percy was 6 feet long, or 1.8 meters, and was often taken ashore by his owner in an air travel bag for outings. What?
I got drafted, but I have this python at home. Can I bring it as a mascot?
Oh my god.
Take your pet to work day? This is my
I've
python.
seen videos where somebody was just like walking down the street with like a snake on his back, and people on Reddit or whatever the hell it was were like, should he be doing that? Isn't it too cold here? Like everybody was just like weighing in. I'd just be like, what the hell?
I remember at our old office, there was a guy nearby that had a turtle.
The giant tortoise.
Yeah, he used to walk it kind of in front of our office sometimes. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't think a tortoise would do well in like the Edmonton environment, being that it gets so bloody cold here, but he must just keep him inside in the winter. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also had a client that was a bird guy who came in with a bird. And it was sometimes
that worries me.
Half-open little gigolo shirt. He was an odd duck.
Like your bird just fly away. It gets mad at you one day and it just fucks right off. It's like, goodbye. Right? You suck.
Yeah, but apparently it must have liked him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of the other girls were like, he's a weirdo. I was like, he's all right. But he was the kind that would be like, and this is my bride who I met online from the Philippines. And you're like, oh, okay, so mail order bride, cool. Yeah. Or whatever. Yeah, we did have a few of those. You get some weirdos when you're in the travel department.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Somebody said something about being in insurance the other day, and that they were like kind of a fun person. I'm like, yeah, there's sometimes you get some stuffy ones, and there's not always a lot of cool people.
Yeah, we have less interesting people, I feel like, than travel you do.
Yeah, travel always felt like it was the more fun department when we looked at the other sides, which was like registries and insurance. But
Yeah, definitely.
now I work in insurance. Or no, now I work in insurance. Now I work in the registry. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I went to the dock side and it's fine.
Now you just pay attention to people's vanity license plates and text me when you get fun ones.
Right? It's easy, yeah. And you don't have to like make people's decisions for them about like what hotel they need to go to.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Try and make people happy or whatever. It's a lot more behind the scenes
Exactly.
work, which is fine.
I know, and there's nothing we can like do for them over the phones because you can't like go into the motor vehicle system because you're just basically like telling people like, well, your license plate's been expired for a year. Go into a registry.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, excuse me. Y'all. I had to burp. Pardon me. Oh yeah, so just to end that quote that started about with Percy the Python, and then I got sidetracked. However, the most common non-feline animals kept on board were exotic birds, which have become famous in pirate films and other fictional works.
Okay.
I guess like parrots. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, there's a little monkey guy in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean. He's got a
Yeah.
little monkey. Like a little Ross-sized, yeah, Marcel.
Yeah.
So the Kriegsmarine, or the Nazis' navy, launched the battleship Bismarck in 1939, mere months before the Reich invaded Poland and kicked off World War II. By 1941, the ship had reached the northern part of the Atlantic Ocean in an attempt to sabotage the naval envoys carrying supplies between Canada and the UK. That was a quote, by the way. I don't write that well, no. So the Bismarck and its escort, Prince, it's spelt like Eugene, but without the E at the end. So I'm just going to say Eugene.
I don't know. Yeah.
Right? It's not Eugenia. Anyway. Its escort, Prince Eugene, were hunted by the Brits and sunk the pride of the Royal Navy, the HMS Hood, with a lucky shot, quote unquote. But then the Bismarck was damaged by British torpedo-carrying Fairey swordfish biplanes, whatever those are.
Oh, I have no idea.
I know, I'm like, forget that they had such a cool name that I didn't look up, but was destroyed by the Royal Navy ships HMS King George V and HMS Rodney in a battle on May 27th, 1941. So his first ship is down.
Damn. Does that mean little Unsinkable Sam's a Nazi?
The
Poor
first
little-
ship was a German one, but I don't
want him to be a little Nazi cat.
He came from a German dissenter. He belonged to a Jewish German. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope so. I like to think he's
a dissenter. He's a non-participant.
He likes
in the war.
all people.
Exactly. No,
anybody with a kind lap can cuddle up.
Right. I know. I'm sure not every German citizen was pro-Nazi, so
oh no, absolutely not. A lot of them were pretty like undercover kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. Ooh, I got a book from the library about two twins fictional twins who get separated when the Berlin Wall gets built between East and West Berlin. Yeah.
Damn.
Well, it sounded kind of cool for a premise. So of the crew of about 2,200, only around 115 people survived.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Died.
Ooh, it was a bad one. And one clever little kitty. But yeah, the loss of life was devastating, obviously. So some British soldiers then found him floating on a plank amidst the flotsam and jetsam, and they took Sam with them.
Yay!
Flotsam and jetsam. Makes me think of Gloria on Modern Family. I've seen more people clinging to a floating door. They talk about a ship's maximum occupancy. Okay, so here's on the name. As legend has it, the crew of the Cossack, which is this next ship, dubbed him Oscar. Oscar was named
Okay.
after the International Code of Signals for the letter O, which means man overboard,
Aww.
I
This
guess.
little man overboard.
Oh, so I'm not too sure if he started out as Sam or started out as Sam and got the name Oscar here or whatever. Because both the names seem to have to do with his ability to stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the German spelling Oscar with a K was sometimes also used due to Sam's presumed German origins, which we just talked about.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. He was made the official mascot of the Cossack, which was a British destroyer, which I would have thought it would have been Russian with the name Cossack.
Yeah.
We'll get to some weird names. But some sources say he was Oscar and now christened Unsinkable Sam after this wreck. Either way, whatever. Soon his name would be put to the test again. So,
Oh no.
let's not worry about it. When the Cossack was torpedoed by the German sub U-563 and it was badly damaged.
Damn. So now he's on a British ship that gets torpedoed by the Germans instead of a German ship that gets torpedoed by the British.
Yeah.
Fuck. He can't win.
No. And I've never written the word torpedoed so much in one paper in my life. The initial explosion blew off 1/3 of the forward section of the ship, killing 159 of the crew.
Damn.
Right? Oscar miraculously survived, but the Cossack needed urgent repairs. The surviving crew and Oscar were transferred to the destroyer HMS Legion. Ooh, I forgot about that name. Which also attempted to tow the ruined shell of the Cossack back to Gibraltar for repairs. However, the task became impossible due to worsening weather conditions and had to be abandoned. On October 27th, a day after the tow was slipped, it sank west of Gibraltar. So they just, yeah. I was like, all right. So finally, they put him on a different vehicle, this time an aircraft carrier.
Is he flying it? No.
No, and it's not an aircraft, but I had to let you think it was. It's just one of those big ass fucking ships that aircraft can land on.
Okay.
I wrote giant cat carrier, LOL.
I mean, the ship kind of is.
It's a big ass battleship. We have Star Wars battleship. Anyway.
Yeah.
So everything's like, I shot down your TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we can try to play the cryptid game if you want when you come over. It's tough. It's complicated, but it was
We'll
fun.
see.
Right. Yeah, Pat will probably put on his mashup videos that he likes so much. All right. So I wrote, but with his luck, they should have just put him on land.
Oh, poor cat.
As of course, I know. His current ship, wait, did I get... Oh, okay. I guess I didn't say the name of the aircraft carrier yet, so I was confused. But he's on the HMS Ark Royal.
Oh, okay.
Ark? That sounds good.
Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark, yeah. But it was felled in battle. Quote, the ship was torpedoed by U-81 on November 14th, 1941. It's so sad. I'm sorry I'm laughing so hard about torpedoing ships. While returning from Malta this time. So efforts were made to tow the Ark Royal to Gibraltar, but the continuous water inflow made the task impossible. As a result, the carrier capsized and sank 30 miles or 48 kilometers away from Gibraltar. Oh, so close. Fortunately, the slow sinking rate allowed all but one of the crew members to be rescued. So that's good.
That's good.
And of course, the survivors included Sam.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let this kitten retire from war, please.
right.
I'm just
I
looking at
did,
his little black and white face, and I'm like, just let him be free.
and if you look up some articles, they'll do like a picture of like a wet, pissed off looking cat, and you're just like, yeah, that's probably what he looked like. Oh yes, because yeah, they mentioned something about that here. So the survivors, including Sam, were transferred first to the HMS Lightning, which was sunk in
Oh.
1942.
Oh. It's like, that's a cool name.
Right? Sam was found clinging to a floating plank and was described as angry but quite unharmed.
That sounds cute.
It's giving cat hates water vibes. Yep.
Yeah.
It's so classic. Okay, wait. Did I get here? HMS Legion. Okay. There's too many ships, so I think some of my quotes kind of overlap, and I'm a little confusing myself. Yeah, because wait, I said he was on the Lightning, and now he's survivors from that ship were then transferred to the Legion, which was itself sunk in 1943. Jesus Christ. And then I wrote, as far as I can tell, Sam Oscar got to go aground before that ship sunk, however. Ship shunk. He apparently was sent to live with the governor of Gibraltar at his office.
Oh, finally.
You're just like, stop putting him on ships. They're all going to sink.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be a mascot anymore.
Yeah.
After that, he spent the rest of his remaining time living in Belfast, Ireland, at the Home for Sailors.
Oh my god, that's adorable. I need a
And his
picture of him in
owner-
a little sailor hat right now.
Oh my god!
He's
Right?
too
Oh my god!
cute.
Oh no! Not like Robert the Doll in his creepy little sailor suit.
No, this would be much cuter.
It would. It would. I do love when they put things on like cats' heads. I'm like, oh.
I used
Look at your little
to, our
hat.
first cat, I made him a couple paper hats, and I had taken, when we first got him, when he was a kitten, I had made him a few paper hats, and I had taken all these pictures of him wearing them, and we didn't get they were just the disposable cameras, and we
Mm.
didn't get the stuff developed until like a few years later, I think, and
God.
by then, for some
Sometimes you
reason,
just like lose a camera, yeah, and you just like find it later.
yeah, for some reason, when it was trying to get developed or something, for some reason, most of the film got wrecked. So, like, all these pictures we had of him as a kitten,
Ah.
we really only ended up with like one or two instead of like multiple cameras worth of like all these
Oh
cute things I did
damn.
with him when he was really tiny.
Yes, and on a
Yeah.
disposable camera and stuff when it was more of an effort. You didn't really know what it was going to come
Yeah.
out looking like that well.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Oh
was
my gosh.
sad. But yeah, I used to make him like
Excuse
the
me.
little fold up paper hats. And I'd put it on
Oh
his
yeah,
head and then
okay.
take
The
some
little
pictures before
crowns.
he'd knock it off. Yeah.
Oh yes. You got that amazing picture of Fenrir with the
That
tiny Santa
Santa hat.
hat, and
Yeah.
you got him to stay still long enough and tilt his head, and he looks so cute. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think I've ever gotten a picture of him with something on his head that looks that good.
Yeah,
As you
I tried to do the same thing with our other cat, Bailey. I had what, it was a 6-pack from the dollar store, those little Santa
Yeah.
hat. It's kind of like a little clip. I
Right.
put it on her head, and I have 3 pictures of her whipping her head, and like one of them, it's so
Yes.
funny. Her face is all blurry, and you can see the hat just flying through the air because she finally like got it
That's
off her
usually
head.
the shots I get. Yeah, trying to put antlers on Fen.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god. No, you were good at that. I was like, damn. Um Okay, so yes, he could lived out the rest of his days. Sam Oscar did with his owner, a fine seaman who lived in the home for sailors, and he died there
Cute.
in 1955. Like, yes, that's
Wow.
not too long ago. Um, a pastel portrait of Sam, created by the artist Georgina Shaw Baker, is currently in the possession of the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich. Yeah.
Oh, is that
So
the picture? Oh, okay.
I think that must be the
That's so
fancy
cute.
picture.
He's on like the little plank. There's little waves all around him. Aw.
Is it really? I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's like a real picture of him too in black and white with something on his little collar.
I
Yeah,
know. I've been staring at it the whole time. He's so cute. I
I
just
told
love
Kelsey
cats.
she'd like this one.
They're so cute.
Oh, and there's one picture of one of the ships sinking, the HMS Ark Royal. That was
Oh, that's that one is.
also. Do you see the one
Damn.
that says "host selfie"? I don't know who put it up, and it's creepy. I told you it looks creepy.
Um.
Now, for me, it's right beside the one that says they're probably behind a wall somewhere. It's got like a picture of someone with like white eyes and face with cracks in it. I don't know. Okay, anyway.
Sorry, I have to refresh the drive. Does
Oh,
this
it's
weird
okay.
thing. I have to, anytime I go like in and out of something, I have to reload it because it won't show me the things. It'll only show me the names.
Okay. I just like
Oh,
distracted again. It's not important. It just looks weird. I'm like, I don't know, but then I can't remember
I
putting
think
that.
that's because this is like the home page we're in right now is like a mixture of um the Darkcast drive and our drive. It's like the recommended one, but if you go into my drive,
Oh.
it gets rid of all that random stuff.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a thing that could happen. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
not actually part of our drive.
Oh, okay. Weird. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't uploaded.
Like, I don't think I put
But I
this up.
think I think I saw it a couple weeks ago and I was like, the fuck? Because sometimes it'll just have random stuff in there. It's like the just recent whatever, but for some reason
Oh.
it's a mixture of some of the Darkcast stuff and our stuff.
Okay, because yeah, I always have the Darkcast drive open on a different tab so that I try not to get them confused. I didn't know they were just gonna like, you know.
Yeah, if you go
Mingle.
my drive, it'll be just our stuff.
Okay, I'll
Yeah, instead of the home button or whatever it says.
fucking weird. Addendum side note to that one, Unsinkable Sam wasn't the only cat at sea. Other famous sailing felines include Mrs. Chippy, a tiger-striped tabby who also accompanied Ernest Shackleton on his Imperial Trans-Antarctic expedition in the early 20th century. Ugh,
Okay.
I think I just said
Cute.
earliest. Earliest. And another was the official mascot for the Royal Navy's HMS Hermione, who was called Convoy. That's a cute name. The British battleship HMS Prince of Wales had a mascot called Blackie, who accompanied British Prime Minister Winston Churchill to a secret meeting with U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt. But then it said, sadly, the Royal Navy prohibited bringing animal mascots aboard ships in 1975. Rude. However, other navies like the U.S. Navy still technically allow the practice, but with some restrictions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably because they know now that like cats can carry disease and like different diseases of their own, and they probably have like rat traps and better food storage and that kind of stuff.
So maybe they don't see as much of a need for them because, like,
I think so.
well, there's certainly less like ropes and stuff maybe used on modern big Navy vessels, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting that they don't. Maybe I can ask my sister.
Ask her if she's ever been on a ship that had like a pet mascot like actually on the ship with them.
Right?
Maybe they do
Can
more
she
like,
bring her
this is a
human and
spirit
be...
one kind of thing.
Yeah. Can her snake be the next pet mascot in her next ship?
Yeah, maybe they pick ones and are like, yeah, we'll have like a picture of this pet, and this will be like kind of the mascot, and they don't
Aw.
necessarily bring the animal actually with them.
Right? Because, like, yeah, someone's like, "Oh, I want to bring my horse," and you're like, "Well, that's
Yeah.
not gonna work." All right. So, see, wouldn't that have been short if I just stopped there?
We can't have that. We can't have an episode under 2 hours by too much. I think last week's was.
Oh my
But just
God.
a bit.
Although sometimes the shorter episodes get a lot of plays. I was noticing the lovely bomb collar one where she does the whole bomb collar case in like half an hour on the Brenda but it's on our feed because it's
Yeah.
Darkcast and we did the takeover thing and I was like, damn, that one's got some plays. It's moving up.
Oh, more than our episodes do. Damn it.
It's high up there, but that's okay. I don't. It's funny because yeah, sometimes even and that's why we drink and they're huge and people will be like, "We love your intros," and then other people are like, "A little too long on the talking at first," and it's like you can just fast forward. So there's always going to
Yeah,
be
fuck.
a few different people I think that like one or the other. Either way.
Yeah, just skip it. Skip ahead. There's a button for that.
Exactly. Truth. Okay, so these are a couple of canine compatriots of. I
Ooh.
think they're both from World War II. So let's get into
I
it.
see pictures of them. They look pretty cute.
There's another painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks beefy. Look at this dog.
Beefy?
Looks like
Okay,
some
so this-
muscles.
One's a Great Dane,
Yeah.
just like Scuba Dooba Doo. Yeah, so this one, and they covered this one on Gavin in the Woods, and they called it England's hero dog of World War II. But it's kind of short, but it's cute. And just awesome. So during the Blitz in London, so they're bombing everything.
Yeah.
There lived a dog named Juliana, which is amazing. I just have to say.
Sounds like a
And-
fancy dog.
I know. And her family was called the Britons, and I thought they were kidding about that, but that was, I guess, their actual last name.
Damn.
Right? So bizarre.
Be like if one of our last names was the Canadians.
I know. I think it was spelled a little differently, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It was weird. She was like, Mr. Britain, and I was like, really? And then called the dog like Juliana Britain.
Love it.
Anyway, in trying to look this dog up, I found another dog, so that's why I have two dogs. But we'll just get
okay.
through it. This one's a short but sweet story. So she was a Great Dane whose family owned a shoe shop, and during the Blitz or all the bombings in London during the Second World War, her house was actually hit, and just such a scary time, right? With the air raid sirens and everybody trying to get underground, and like that's all you can do because if you get hit, you get hit. But the family's house was hit, and the family was only spared their lives because the bomb did not detonate upon impact. It just went into the house and then kind of like sat there for a minute.
Oh my god, that'd be so fucking scary.
Right? Everybody just like was like like frozen, I guess.
Yeah.
Apparently it was like almost completely inert for a minute, and then it began emitting some like sparks and stuff.
Oh my god. No.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'd do. Like shit my pants and have a heart attack and die probably.
Right? I was like listening to this too even earlier and doing notes and stuff, and then I looked up at Pat and he knows explosives, and I was like, so this like just happened? And then like this happened? Anyway, he's like, yeah, okay. So I guess it's plausible, but it seems insane that it just sat there doing its little thing. not exploding because it didn't detonate properly, and everyone's frozen in horror. And then Juliana, the Great Dane, starts to kind of go approach the explosive, and I guess they just let her and didn't call her back or anything. And then she, sorry, squatted over it and peed all over the bomb.
Oh, wow.
And neutralized it out of commission.
Really? Like, actually? Oh
It
my
was
God.
just, it
Be
was,
like,
it was
the
done.
one weakness of fucking German artillery. Dog pee.
I mean, I guess if
Damn.
the fuse or whatever thing that was supposed to, you know what I mean, detonate it, make it go
Yeah.
off, didn't happen, that maybe you just get all that fuse and stuff wet, and then you're like, well.
So next time, if anybody ever encounters a bomb, you heard it here. Squat and pee on it. Alanna said. No.
Oh my God, the stories though, when some people like find them in their yards or something, and
Yeah.
or on Parks and Rec, doesn't he have a freaking landmine on his
Yeah, he has
desk? Fucking what's his face? Nick
Ron
Crawford.
Swanson.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, just no. Okay, so she saved the lives of everybody in the home and probably their neighbors too, because it probably would have started
Yeah.
a big fire and all, you know, all that
It's,
stuff.
at least part of the surrounding area for sure.
Exploded for sure. Ooh. Also, I thought was hilarious. Just was that when I was typing out neighbors, and my typo was that I missed the E, and then it looked like neighbors, and I was like, well, that sounds like I'm trying to spell it with an Australian accent. Neighbors.
I thought you were gonna say knobbers.
Knobbers.
That'd also be acceptable.
Oh God, I love it when people get called like a knob or some other stupid
Yeah.
like British term, like a wanker. Also, why is
Yeah.
everybody saying cheeky now? Like they just found out like this is a British slang term. I hear people like podcasters all the time being like, and then I had a cheeky little sandwich, and I'm like, how is that cheeky? You just had a sandwich. Is it just me? No. I keep hearing it.
Oh, I'm trying
don't
to
know.
think. I think some places also use cheeky like that way as kind of like a small, like a kind of like saying small.
I guess. I just
Yeah.
always heard it in like British slang as more of a like, oh, you know, you went and did something that was a little like crazy or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Huh. It's just like the let's go. Like everybody says let's go now or
yeah, just something that like the new generation loves to say. Yep. my
yeah.
kid-
Or the
my
fit
kid
instead of
does
saying
the thing.
outfit, it'd be like, I like that person's fit. And it's like you can't say outfit now? Takes too long to say outfit. You have to say fit.
Well, I still hate that. It's giving this, and they don't even add the vibes at the end. I really hate that. I really do. Also, every time my kid texts us back ALR for all right, I'm like, did she just say AJR? No. Okay.
Close, but
just
not
text
quite.
okay. It's literally 2 letters.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Or KK. We used to do that.
Oh
KK.
no, that one's too aggressive for them apparently, or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's like MSN Messenger talk. KK.
KK. So she was awarded a Blue Cross medal for her bravery and her efforts.
Of relieving her bladder on an explosive device.
Pissing
If
all
only.
over the Nazis. But it gets a little better, and then it gets a little bit worse. So 3 years later, she saved her family again when the shoe shop caught fire.
Aww. Okay.
Yeah, so not a bomb this time. I think just an ordinary
Yeah.
fire. But I
That's
guess
sweet.
well, yeah, it was like attached to their home, I guess. So she was like running around sounding the alarm, making sure everybody got out on time and everybody evacuated. So, boom, second medal.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, so she was really pretty cool. And Then her story got a little bit, they said, like lost to history for a time. And then it was unearthed during a house clearing in 2013 before like an estate sale / auction kind of dealio. And then one of her medals was found among the other possessions, and so was a oil portrait of Juliana.
Cute.
So yeah, there's definitely a big old picture of her, and
Yeah, she's
that's
got some
neat.
muscles. Like,
Yeah. I was like, that's like a Scooby-Doo dog, right? Like they're like, yeah, they're pretty big.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Um,
It's got the same
Yeah.
color as Scooby-Doo, too. It's red and got the... Almost
Has
looks like it
SD
could
on
be...
it?
Yeah, it could be. It looks like a little golden ID tag that could say SD. Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, she looks very
Maybe
sweet.
Juliana was Scooby-Doo.
Okay, so I do have to sadly tell you how she came to her end, and it is not what I expected.
Oh.
Yeah, she, after the war, you'd think she would get to live out her life peacefully, but instead she was murdered.
What?
When poisoned meat was slipped through the Britton family's letterbox, which then Juliana ate. And that was
What
in
the
1946. Yeah, poison. Very sad.
Why?
I know that one ends so tragically. I don't understand why anyone would ever do that. Like, fuck you.
I
Very
know, like,
much.
people do that. They'll leave it in, like, parks, or if they're mad about, like, their neighbor's pet coming into their yard and shit. I hear about that all the time. Yeah. People will
Oh
be
my
like, yeah, dog's
God.
sick from, like, poison food left out, or, like, stuff with,
Purposely.
like, needles in it. That happens,
Oh my
too.
God.
But,
People are
yeah,
sick.
slipping it through the mailbox of somebody's house. I've never heard that before. It's normally outside.
No, that's
Huh.
so fucked up. Either way. It's like,
Damn.
reminds me of a Stephen King novel where he's like, I'm just gonna poison this hamburger, and I think to give it to a dog, and then his mom ate it. And I was like, yeah, only serial killers fucking poison meat and fucking insane people.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, let's lift it up here. Gordo, are you ready?
He's about to
Did you
cause
just
some
say
shit.
no?
I don't know. It's because he was making prolonged eye contact with me, and I didn't pet him.
He made the weirdest little noise when I said that. That really freaked me out. Gordo, are you ready? He's like, no. That's what I heard. Or it was probably more like, "Meow," but like, it was weird.
Okay, buddy. Okay, bye. Bye. Good riddance.
Very quickly, Judy was England's other war hero dog, who I accidentally
Judy.
found. Yes. I was trying to look up the one that they talked about on Gavin in the Woods, but they didn't say the name of it in the show notes, and then I stumbled upon this one and started
Aw.
writing this one, and then it wasn't the same one. I was like, shit.
I do like the picture of the basket full of puppies, though.
Yes.
That's
I
cute.
guess she had a litter of puppies. I don't even think I got to it in the notes, but then there was a picture of it.
Okay, so that's her puppies?
Her puppies, yes.
Okay.
She
I
was
thought
a
maybe it
pointer
was her
dog.
as
Yep.
a puppy.
Oh, okay. No, she was. I
Aw.
guess she was a liver and white colored pointer dog. So I guess like brown and white. I don't know.
Ugh.
Right? Why do they have
I
to
want anything to
describe it
be described
liver?
as liver colored.
I know. Isn't it like brownish red? Anyway, yeah.
I don't know. It's
Auburn. Let's say.
awful. Awful descriptor.
I know. Apparently, she was born near Shanghai, and for some reason, she then ended up as the mascot of the HMS Gnat, as in Gnat, the tiny flies,
Uh-huh.
which was a gunship in 1936. And aboard that ship, she would alert them to river pirates that were apparently hidden away in the dark of night trying to ambush the crew.
Oh my god!
I do not have more information on that.
I didn't know dogs could alert for pirates. I guess if they can alert like suspicious people coming up to your house, they could very well alert for pirates, but
they can send drugs. I mean, yeah.
yeah.
And she was always the first to hear any enemy aircraft approaching and alert the crew as well. But this was kind of funny that she wasn't too great at every task she tried, because, and I almost missed this when I was reading the one website, but went back to get a quote and then saw this, and it said, initial attempts to train Judy as a gun dog for shooting parties ashore were a failure, and she would often end up falling overboard, forcing the ship to come to a stop to retrieve her.
Aww. Cute.
I know. It's like, did they just like try and go after like the bird you shoot down or something, and then maybe she just like went too far?
Yeah, I don't really know.
And then following the bug name pattern, she later ended up on an HMS Grasshopper. And where are they getting these names?
I think they probably just ended up using almost everything. They probably just had so many ships they needed to name. They're just like, let's go through the dictionary and just everywhere.
Yeah. And like nothing scary at all sounding. And like now they all seem to be named after like places. Like Ressa will say, oh, they'll be named after the port that they leave from, or like the HMS Vancouver or whatever I think she's been on. Yeah. So this Shorp was Shorp?
Ship?
This is what happens when I try to talk too fast and read. Yeah, this ship was torpedoed by the Japanese.
Damn.
Take a drink. She said torpedoed.
That's 4, at least. Well, 4 ships that have been torpedoed. I don't know how many times we said the word torpedo.
Yeah. And the survivors ended up on a small island in the South China Sea. So other shipwreck survivors were there, I kid you not, off of a ship called the HMS Dragonfly.
Nice.
So you had people from the Grasshopper and the Dragonfly.
And the Gnat. No, not the Gnat.
No, but not on this island. But then I wrote, can't make this ship up. And I literally, it was a typo. And I was like, oh my God, that was a Freudian slip. I'm leaving it in.
Nice.
A Freudian ship, no. So one day they're all slowly succumbing to thirst on this deserted island, and Judy went missing. They found her finally not too far off, having dug up some groundwater in like a mini sort of well situation where they had fresh water now.
Oh.
She was a very good girl. Then the group trudged hundreds of miles to reach Padang in Sumatra, but just missed the last evacuation ship, unfortunately. So soon the Japanese had invaded and they were taken prisoner. Again, I think? No. I can't remember. They were taken to a camp in Medan, North Sumatra, and there Judy bonded with leading aircraftman Frank Williams from Portsmouth. And they shared rations of rice and formed a friendship that would last a lifetime.
Oh.
Apparently Judy would like instinctively create sort of little mini distractions when the guards came around to punish and mistreat the POWs, the prisoners of war.
Aww.
I don't know what she would do, but I was like, okay. Then they were set up to be transported to Singapore on a ship called the the Butterfly. Just kidding.
Oh.
I forgot I wrote that in. It was called the SS Van Warwick.
Oh. Boo.
I know. I was like,
The praying mantis. No.
right? For a
The
minute, I
wasp.
believed myself, and then I was like, no, you wrote that in, you sly little bugger.
It's because it's his dinner time. He's like,
no, I know.
It's 7 o'clock. Feed me.
It's true. We've been going. Okay, I'm almost done. Okay. The Japanese were very opposed to Judy coming with them. F that, thought Frank. And another man called Leonard Williams, of no relation to Frank, recalled, We weren't going to have that happen. Judy had been with us all that time. So we had a sack, and we would train her to hop in the sack at a given signal, and then we would put her on our shoulders. Judy was put in the sack, and we carried her on board.
Yeah.
So cute.
She's hidden.
Fuck. But the vessel was torpedoed the very next day.
Damn it.
On June 26, 1944, despite the prisoners of war on board, it was ironically hit by a British ship, weapon, whatever, who were unaware of the presence of the Allied POWs on board.
Okay. They weren't
didn't know they were-
intentionally.
Yeah,
like that,
killing
okay.
people that were their own allies, literally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's pretty shitty of them.
Yeah, and if you have prisoners of war on board, don't you have like a peace flag you fly or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
But you would think, anyway. But tragically, a lot of people died. About 500 people out of the 700 on board did not survive.
Damn.
And Mr. Williams added, when we were torpedoed, we heeled over? Anyway.
Probably keeled
and luckily,
over.
I know, that doesn't really make sense. It should be keeled, I think. Yeah, and luckily Judy was by a porthole. We opened the porthole and Judy was pushed through and she ran down the ship's side. Quite a few of us were lucky to get out at that particular time. A lot of people owe their lives to Judy. She was pushing pieces of wood towards people who couldn't swim.
Oh.
That almost sounds made up to me. I'm like, what? But like, I don't know, right? That's what he said. So these survivors, I'm like, second time survivors? Double survivors? What do we
And
call
how
them?
do people that are like on ships that were like in the army and military and everything not know how to swim?
Yeah.
How would that be
Not a-
allowed? That doesn't
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sense to me.
Oh, I know. They would just take anybody when you're at war.
Yeah. But it's not
so they
that
found a-
hard to teach people how to swim, so.
Right? Yeah, you're going to be on a ship most of the time. You probably should know how to swim.
Yeah.
They found a Japanese ship, or the nearest Japanese ship. I don't know if it's the one they got off of. I can't remember. But they climbed up the netting on the side of the ship. And the Japanese were then not happy to see Judy. So maybe it was the first guys that didn't want her on board. And they decided that they were going to kill her once they made port.
Damn.
Rough. So the former commander of the POW camp intervened, demanding she be given official POW status and all it entailed. This would protect her from execution and make her eligible for her own rations. She didn't have to share. Happily, she and Frank, who had been separated in the melee of the attack, were reunited and never apart again. Just like Gordo doesn't want to be 2 feet away from you.
Yeah, jeez. He's like, feed me!
My God, Gordo, I'm sorry. I could have stopped it earlier. This is the end of her story. They stuck together through thick and thin, including several camp moves, gunshot wounds, alligator bites, and attacks from wild dogs before the Japanese surrendered in August of 1945.
Damn, alligators.
Right? Where are we? Judy was given
Florida?
a PDSA Dickin Medal, aka the Animals Victoria Cross, the highest order an animal can receive. Why? Why is
Cute.
it called Dickin?
Yeah.
Someone's last name. Judy lived out a very nice rest of her life and to an older age with Frank until her death in February of 1960. So she made it quite a while. And Frank was working in Tanzania, so her grave and monument and plaque are both there.
Oh, wow. Gordo, don't do that.
Gordo?
You used the touchscreen, you were gonna close the tab with your face.
The unstoppable Gordo.
Yeah. Buddy. I
and-
know, I love you too. Don't want to smell your butt.
And just as an addendum, because the article also included the other Dickin Medal recipients. Since the first Dickin Medal in 1943, the PDSA have conferred the award on almost 100 animals, including dogs, pigeons, horses,
Buddy.
and a cat.
And a cat. Not this cat.
No. I swear, it's okay. One moment. It was given to Bing, an Alsatian patrol dog with the 13th Parachute Battalion in the Second World War. In addition to patrol duties, Bing was a fully qualified paratrooper and joined the battalion when they jumped over Normandy on D-Day, 6th of June, 1944. Right? He fucking flew down. Oh my
How do
god.
you train a dog as a paratrooper?
Why do they send a dog to space? I found out they did that to a cat too. Oh, whatever. We don't have time.
Yeah, I almost covered the one dog. It made me really sad.
It's very sad. I like that
I
they
was
do
like,
homage to it
no!
on. They do homage to it on the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because there's a dog in a cosmonaut suit. Anyway,
Yeah.
she's like, he called me a bad girl. She's so mad.
Yeah.
There was also Billy, a pigeon who delivered a message from a force-landed bomber while in a state of complete collapse and under bad weather conditions while serving with the Royal Air Force. Billy was given the Dickin Medal in August 1945. Simon, the ship's cat of HMS Amethyst during the Yangtze incident, Simon disposed of many rats despite being wounded by shrapnel in a blast on board.
Aww.
And he was awarded the Dickin Medal posthumously in 1949. Oh. Also, Treo, a Labrador with the Royal Army Veteran Corps. Treo located an improvised explosive device, or IED, designed to trigger a series of bombs by a roadside soldiers were about to pass. Treo is credited with saving many lives of soldiers from the Royal Irish Regiment and was awarded the Dickin Medal on 24th of February 2010.
Oh, that's
And
recent.
that one was recent. Yeah, I love that it's like continuing on. And like now there's a little bit like how military, like they had a paragraph on how military have working dogs. During the Second World War, dogs were recruited by the armed forces to serve on patrol and as guards. Ships would also often have animals on board as their mascots, which we talked about. The Second World War also saw the first use of mine detection dogs in the British Army. In total, the Army and Ministry of Aircraft Production employed around 3,500 dogs for guard, patrol, and mine detection duties. And there is a memorial in Hyde Park, London, to animals involved in conflict called the Animals in War Memorial. And that is my
Wow.
case.
Jeez. You could hear that over Gordo meowing 1,000 times. Are you singing?
He gets a medal, he gets a badge for loudest singing voice.
Yeah.
I know. Yes, we did go a little long because we started recording at like 4 something and now it's 7. That's how she goes.
That's okay.
All right, that's okay. We'll shut it down really quick here and we'll see you guys next week for whatever we just picked 20 minutes ago. Not 20 minutes ago, 3 hours ago. Mayday crimes.
Oh, yeah. Planes, and planes, not planes, trains, and automobiles. Planes.
I know. There's a lot to do with planes, trains, and automobiles, and there's haunted vehicles, and oh my goodness, I think it'll be a good one. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Tune in next week and keep an eye on our Patreon where we'll be putting out our latest on there, which we might be calling Tea Time. We'll see how that goes. Should be a fun experiment.
yeah.
All right. Well, till next time, keep it cryptic. Thank you for listening to Castles and Cryptids. We love all our listeners and appreciate every subscriber, every new review, every listen, rate, and download. Our music is by Kobe Off Air, and our cover art is by Antonio Garcia. We are also a proud member of Darkcast Network, where you can find the best and spookiest of all indie podcasts. Follow us on social media, where we are at Castles and Cryptids on mostly all of the things, now including TikTok. Check out our bonus content on Patreon, Cryptid Clashes, video minisodes of your hosts making asses of themselves, Ask Me Anything, quizzes, other special episodes, and more. Starting at just $2 a month, you can get 1 to 2 extra episodes, depending on your level. We produce, edit, and research everything ourselves, and any support you can lend helps us to keep it cryptic.
Well, hello there. I'm Regina King, the Evil Queen.
And I'm Lynn Roskamp, the Docent of Darkness, and we're the hosts of Disturbing Interests.
Do you get excited about mummies, decorate in skulls, obsess over the loss of the Library of Alexandria, even though it was lost in a different age?
Do you kill the conversation with your in-depth serial killer knowledge, facts about items made out of human skin, or have a strange longing to know the softer side of Mothman?
Have you spent an objectively disproportionate amount of time studying the life of H.H. Holmes?
Oh, I wouldn't know anybody like that. No, certainly not.
Well, I mean, we did call our podcast Disturbing Interest for a reason.
That's right, we've got them, and we are doing you the favor of keeping the questions like, at what temperature does it take to destroy a cadaver, out of your browsing history?
Well, we hope.
Because with us, you might be disturbed.
But you're not alone. You can find us on any podcasting platform under Disturbing Interest, or check us out online at disturbinginterest.com.
Well, all our longtime listeners will definitely know that recording a podcast is not always easy.
No.
Nope. So you better believe, like, when we find something we like, that we're going to probably stick to it and not look for anything else. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love Zencaster. When we tried it, we were like, okay, finally, I wanted to have the video, and it's up to 4K video, which is pretty effing cool. I can see every pore on Kelsey. No, I'm just kidding.
I hope not.
But it's great video and like just really easy on this one. So like once we stopped recording on our phones, I was like, yeah, this is the one for us. So even though sometimes our computers fuck up, it always comes through for us in the end, because we've never lost like a recording, knock on wood, and every time we've had to use it, it's just been really great and really easy, and everything's just recorded when we wanted it to, which is, it's a lot to ask for when you podcast as much as we do.
Yeah. It's nice that each of us has our own separate audio recording that you can download and edit. So it makes when one of us is doing something or has something, it's easy. You can edit that out even with the other person was talking, because you have 2 separate tracks that you can edit. Yeah, it's one of the reasons we love Zencaster. Definitely, it makes it a lot easier. And the audio quality is also a lot better than any of the other programs we tried using in the past.
Yes, it is the best. So go to zencaster.com/pricing and use my code cryptic, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan.
We want you to have the same easy experience as we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.
Keep it cryptic.